The Christian Church, who promotes the ways of the public and in every way contrives convincing scenarios to make sure that their followers and outlookers are paying attention. It is continually selling information about dreams, yet they do not at all address the issue. Politically rehearsed people have their way about them, and they always squeeze around certain issues until they are fully exposed, and then they beg for forgiveness or get presidential pardons. As I am drawing this map for the onlooking audience, it becomes like a game of Clue or the Wheel of Fortune. Eventually, others start to see what is really taking place. And yes, there are many others who start to see what is really taking place. And the conspiracies going on, and they are not theory. In the new nowness of it is time to have the real super knowledge available for everyone. The belief systems have hidden most of the pertinent information about a lot of things from the public. Someone in the great scheme of marketing magic put together a thing called The Secret. They have made it look like a really important idea that everyone should have. Of course, through proper investigation, it will be found it isn't just another way to look at the very same thing that has always been around. What part of it refers to real freedom? Let's answer that one. Tim, can you answer that?
Yeah. Well, this we're so fortunate that we're open to this information that Dwayne came here to provide and the guidance we're getting. So we are paying attention, some of us, to this super knowledge for everyone that I guess is ready for it. So we're not continually just thinking about our personal life. We're trying to get to know these 5 bodies that in these psych realms that we have, and why we came here, and what real freedom and real love is, and it seems like what I see is that how important the new you song is as a beginning to get the real guidance and the real education, or just be unaware like the vast majority of the humans are about what's really going on, like the reptilians, and they're created the religions, and they created the educational systems, and they created the political systems, or legal, whatever you want to call these different systems to control humans. They've got it so that we're on a human farming prison planet for them, to be used by them. And what's being offered when a person takes some, I don't know if you call it time, or gets to a point where they think of other things than they're just their personal life, about why things are the way they are and what makes sense, why religions have all these giant buildings and all kinds of gold, and run around in robes and have crowns on, and they act like, treat your fellow man like you'd want to be treated, and there's starving children on earth that we're aware of and things, and they have the ability to take care of them, to provide food and shelter and clothing and the needs of others when they have so much. A lot's supposedly required of them to do things for others, but it seems like they just want to not care. It's all part of these reptilian power games they're playing with the humans. So we're very fortunate to the small amount of people that are becoming aware at this time are the lights that are going to be lighting up this darkness by this real guidance and education we're being given by the real guides, and particularly through Dwayne Aba right now on Earth.
Well, then we have the Judeo-Christian tradition, who gave their approval to the art and science of the dream arena. The Old Testament draws a veil over the idea of certain dreams, and so we find they were more interested in those dreams that helped consolidate Judaism, which had deep impressions upon public opinion by their accuracy and brilliance with their interpretations. And so it was that the Old Testament only mentioned dreams when confirmed to the coming of the Messiah and the confirmation of the Jewish God, the Lord Governor of the astral realm. The real gods do not manipulate human history or ploy people into swaying them a certain direction. They know all real truth stands on its own and does not need the assistance of fools who portray themselves as the masters and the gurus, saviors and saints. There have been and are many sincere individuals who have brought a message for the masses from beyond this world. And here again is where a confirmation can be investigated and sought through the proper areas of one's own dream visions. Those who have been involved with the contrived works of ancient wisdom are paying today with the lords of karma in the lower astral levels, and many more will be with them. I have seen some of these people, and to this day they will stay below out on their own meta-erotic to all the silly fools who will listen, as they are programmed as being like stockbrokers who predicting a better market to which to buy into. The one on my real side experiences, I have had the experience to go back in time to an era somewhat like the medieval days of a human history. I was shown by Yabul Sakabe many of the rituals and incarnations of who helped to invent the ceremonial rites of worshiping various invented deities, which are mainly for the purpose of subjecting others to their abusive control. It's well known that those running for political office in today's controlled society must first be a part of the satanic cult and becoming initiated. These people have to pass the test to see if they are willing to be controlled by those whose only ambition is to dominate the entire human race, like a movie, Lord of the Rings. Gee, that's kind of scary. I mean, that's really scary. It is so vital to know and understand the concepts of the conscious and unconscious parts of one. What I am referring to is the anatomy of the emotional and mental selves, these inner bodies, and is different in respect of what Western psychologists have trained themselves with. They have decided their arena of business as they see it, but have not been able to get above into the other levels, as they do not seem to have the courage to go beyond what is so literally agreed to by other scholars. They are feverishly trying to figure out what the real guides really know. But what most PhD personnel do not realize is only those with a true heart will gain the real knowledge and experience of the all is. In dreams, most people have the identity of an omnipotent personage, personally, or some form of identity of a God who is protecting one while they sleep. This is the idea of the Lord's Prayer before one goes to sleep. I remember my grandmother making me recite it. My mother never had much faith in it. When one looks over the words in the prayer, it does seem to make sense to the unaware, but the real guides do not use such elementary means. Everything is a step, that's for sure. But a 6-foot boat in seas with waves as high as 100 feet won't last long, because the voyage and journey to the real universe is huge. So many of the parables of Jesus were to the effect of warning people, not so much about the so-called false prophets, which the church actually implemented, but that of an overview of the principles that already exist within the various psychic realms. Some people are afraid of the dark and to go to sleep each night for fear that they are not going to wake up into this world again. Those who are the new students of the new human, the Noonan, are always protected by the real universe of guides, as they will continually meet each other in their dream arenas. And so let's kind of wind this up here. I think it's time. Do you want to say something, Val?
Well, just about this idea about yugas. We have the Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and we're now in the Iron Age. And it's really just about agreement. People, the ages, you could say, are the agreement has become more so of a demise for people's own benefit, where in the Golden Age, people were agreeing to something a lot purer and more, of a higher level, you could say. But now people are agreeing to their own demise, and that's why we're in the Iron Age. So it's a heck of a challenge, and I know I've heard Dwayne say that it's almost impossible. I mean, we're taking on the impossible here. It's not because it can't be done. It's just because people have free will and they're agreeing. They're agreeing to their own downfall. So what can you do? There's only so much you can do for people, and you got to let them be. We're not into changing people's minds or to try to force them to be good people or to wake up. It's not the idea. It's just to be. This is a presentation that, again, this is the Iron Age, you could say, and everybody's pretty much agreeing to nonsense and distortion. So it is a heck of a challenge for us here at the New Presentation Foundation and wonderful worldwide educators. But we're still up for it. It's still like we're becoming more aware by doing it. The bigger the challenge, in a way, the bigger the recognition, you could say. So we're here for a little while more, and then we'll see.
Thank you very much, Val. Ron, Kim, do you want to have a few words here before we close up these bedtime stories?
Yeah, sure. The words Dwayne was saying about only those with a real heart. So we have to become aware of what a real heart is. We have comparisons. We see the politicians and their satanic rituals to be politicians and connected with these, I guess you would call it unreal hearts. A real heart, what is that? An understanding heart? They have no understanding of what life's all about, and they just are uncaring. It's the comparison of what a real heart is, doing for others, like Dwayne coming back from the real universes to share and do for others instead of for themselves. Like the politicians are all thinking they're great and powerful and make lots of money off of whatever their deals are in this physical realm, but they don't really know what a real heart is.
True words, true words. I think a lot of people are waking up to what the politicians are really doing to us. Some are, of course, but I think a lot of people are. Now it's time to take that next step and let the real guides show them. Okay. Happy dreams, all you lovely people out there. Keep an open mind and perceive what's going on.
Thanks again.
And we're going to end with the you. The you.
You.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Happy dreams.
Yes.